Tonight, TikTok users fighting for their territory in Montana. 5 of them filing suit to block the statewide ban signed by Governor Greg Gianforte yesterday. Gianforte calling it the most decisive action of any state to protect Montanans' private data. The bill will take effect in January, and while it threatens to fine TikTok $10,000 a day for each violation of the ban and instructs app stores not to offer TikTok in Montana, enforcement details are otherwise vague.
I like being a voice for my state.
Christian Poole says he earns a modest side income as the unofficial Montana ambassador for more than 400,000 followers.
There being more cows than people here in Montana.
But he says driving out of state to use the app is not realistic.
I'm not entirely sure it'd be super worth it taking a possible 2-hour drive just to post.
Meanwhile, a TikTok spokesperson tells NBC News that Montanans can continue using TikTok as we continue working to defend the rights of our users. And in congressional testimony last month, its CEO insisted TikTok is not controlled by China.
The bottom line is this: American data stored on American soil by an American company, overseen by American personnel.
The ACLU, meanwhile, says there's no public evidence of harm that justifies a ban. But the ban does not mention specific national security threats and may be vulnerable, experts say, on First Amendment grounds.
As Congress now weighs the possibility of a federal ban, Montana's ban creates a complicated new landscape for TikTok and the likelihood of more legal battles on the horizon. Lester?
And Jake, tell us about fallout. There's been a new Supreme Court ruling on massive social media companies.
That's right. Plaintiffs from that case had hoped to hold Twitter accountable for social media posts by users promoting terrorist ideology. But it seems that the legal protection social media companies enjoy under Section 230 remains as strong as ever.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
Montana has become the first state in the U.S. to ban TikTok.
The new law prohibiting the popular Chinese-owned app will take effect at the start of next year. Republican Governor Greg Gianforte signed the measure yesterday. He and other Montana officials are seeking to protect residents from alleged intelligence gathering by the Chinese government through TikTok.
For their part, TikTok condemned the ban. In a statement provided to CBS News, representatives accuse the new law of infringing on Americans' First Amendment rights. The company also says that they will continue to defend the rights of their users both in and outside of Montana. Joining us now is Sapna Maheshwari. She is a business reporter for the New York Times. Sapna, great to have you as we're trying to understand exactly the implications of this ban, and I'm hoping you can help us out with this in particular. The governor says that anyone in violation of the law is liable to pay $10,000 per violation and an additional $10,000 each day that the violation continues. Tell us, does this mean users potentially face penalties if they're using TikTok in Montana come January?
Not so much. So from what we understand, the onus is really on the big tech companies in this situation. So TikTok will actually be fined $10,000 for violating this rule for operating in the state. And actually, what's really interesting is Apple and Google would be charged fines for allowing people to download the apps from their app stores.
Interesting. So, I guess the question then becomes enforceability. I mean, what are the main challenges, Sapna, that Montana is facing when it comes to enforcing this law?
So this is something that a lot of people are talking about. It's going to be difficult to limit access to TikTok within a single state. So people are wondering, how will it work? If you visit Montana, will TikTok suddenly stop working? If you live, near the border of the state and it looks like you live in a neighboring state, will TikTok work for you? So there's so many questions around this. What the state has pointed to as a comparison point, though, is some of the online gambling companies and apps for sports betting, where they said, listen, we've been able to put restrictions around things like this. Therefore, we will also be able to do something like this with TikTok.
It's really fascinating. Just that idea that you could be traveling and when you cross state lines, suddenly you're not able to use TikTok anymore if you want to. Sapna, do you expect that other states are now going to follow Montana's lead and try and create their own bans on TikTok?
It's hard to say. I mean, I will say that in the past few months, really since November, we've seen tons of states follow each other in banning TikTok on government devices. It hasn't led to a lot of outcry, banning it from a state employee's phone. So I don't know if we're going to see in this case. I think people are really waiting to see, what kinds of legal challenges might come up as part of this, what sort of backlash it might face, and also, what TikTok users in the state might say.
Well, that really goes to the heart of this question, because when we're talking about government devices, the government, of course, can regulate what you use on a government device. But in this case, it's individual users.
Right.
And I'm imagining that it is likely to face legal challenges.
That's what everyone's anticipating, that there will be court challenges based on the First Amendment. Just as soon as the bill was signed into law, you had immediate statements from the ACLU, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, the list goes on. And they're all basically saying that this is an overstep by the government, by the state of Montana, and many groups are saying they plan to fight it.
All right. Sapna Maheshwari, thank you.